So, welcome to the broadcast. Shatika Husser here with Shatika Husser Financial Solutions, where we help you retire before you expire. So, that's what you desire. We are the ones you hire. Our goal really is to get your bank account on fire with a whole lot of lifetime tax free retirement income that you will not outlive. And that includes a lot of different products that are out here that are tax free. Most people hear about Roth, but there's so much more that are actually going to not give you the same type of risk that a Roth will give you, rather it's a Roth annuity, a Roth IRA, however you want to say it. There are some other risk-free, meaning that you don't lose a penny to the market. And that's primarily the type of products that we like to promote and really encourage people that are nearing retirement to have. Some people don't want to wait until their 50s and 60s to retire. They want to start retiring at 30, 25. I mean, honestly, the Gen Zs, they want to be retired in 5 years. Okay, let's just put it out there. I often hear from the Gen Zs and the millennials, and they want to retire early, but they don't have any money. They don't have any money that they've made. They don't have a pot of money anywhere to turn anything into an income. And so that's kind of unrealistic. So think about it like this. Because ideally, you want to put away for 15 to 20 years, ideally, unless you got $1 million sitting somewhere or more. We can definitely help you with that. Okay. But the goal really is to get you moving sooner than later, because the average individual is going to spend more than they can afford when they start to play catch up, say in their 40s, 50s, and so forth, right? So the goal is to understand, what does that look like. So you really need to seek a financial professional to make sure that you have a good plan put in place. And certainly at Shatika House of Financial Solutions, we can help you with that. But we're not here to sell you. We're here to inform you. We're here to educate you. That's really what this channel is all about. And so I want to talk tonight about private pension banking. So private pension banking is something that it's like you owning your own bank, right? And it's like you actually have access to a lot more than what you put in, because your money is compounding at a rate faster than a bank ever could. And but you're taking that money that your account has made and you're paying off your bills, or you're using it for an emergency fund and paying it back at a lower interest than you naturally would with a loan or some type of credit card. And so not a whole lot of people are familiar with that. I mean, a lot of people are not familiar with private pension banking, but it's been around forever. But not necessarily to the African American community, because we always looked at certain types of accounts as, let's just say, in our community, I've often heard, buy term and invest the rest. All right. That is a concept where people that aren't confident in carriers' capacity and their ability to be able to properly compound their money while they're sleeping, they want a more aggressive growth. So they try to say things like, "Let me do my own investing," and half of the time they don't know what they're doing, and they end up losing their money, and they end up wishing they would have did something different with it. So private pension banking can work like this. It actually is a type of account that's going to give you benefits that you would normally have with any type of contribution plan that you would have, employer pension plan or employer plan, even your regular pension plan, right? Some people have pensions rather than with some type of state employment or government employment. Those don't come with the type of benefits that we're going to talk about, what you can actually have in your private pension account. Okay. So number one, we often talking about, what if you were to unfortunately, get in a car accident, or, something happens to you where you have some type of chronic injury or chronic illness, right? Whether it's heart attack, cancer, stroke, dementia. Would you have to go inside of your account to have to pay for those medical bills? Or would you be able to tap into your private pension banking account, be able to access that account to see that now I don't have to worry about, draining my retirement account, because I actually have funds in my private pension account that has grown for me at a higher, faster pace. Rather it be the cash value or the benefit of having that accessible to you. Well, most individuals don't think that far ahead, but when we start looking at statistics and you start looking at, what has historically been said about, healthcare, you know, 80% of retirees or people over the age of 65 end up having some type of medical illness or challenge that they didn't plan for. And so that's what we come in at, because between healthcare, inflation, and taxes, you're going to have some challenges if you don't make a plan to get in front of that with the right type of products to put your money in. That's going to position you to be able to combat all three. All right. And those are the top three challenges that most people will see when you start talking about, a private pension plan or some type of retirement plan or some type of complement to the social security system that's out there that we don't know that'll still be out there, because again, economists are saying that between 2025 and 2034, social security won't even be around, so it won't even be something that's accessible. But if it's not, at least you have a plan in place. If it is, at least you have something to supplement it, because of inflation it will be so small in value. You will need something to supplement it so that you can continue to live your lifestyle, especially if you're going to go into that phase of your life in debt. All right. So the goal is to get you to take care of your older self, no matter how young you are. All right. You have to think about today. We live a life of, in the now and a lot of spontaneity. But what about putting something away for when you cannot work anymore? I don't think enough people think about that. They don't think it's a real problem, but it really is. And that is why there's so many people that are elderly that are homeless. And my goal is to help you to live comfortably in your older age and not necessarily having to live off someone else or having to live uncomfortable. So, private pension banking. This is something that's going to allow you the autonomy to do exactly what the banks have been doing with your money between midnight and 5. I mean, they've been compounding your money, right? You don't have to compound it yourself. You don't have to be in control of it yourself, because I hear you. How do I do this? How do I make my money grow for me while I'm sleeping? How do I have my money to outpace my work ethic, right? Like, let's say you're working on a W-2 or self-employment, or maybe you're even a business owner. How do you get your money to outpace your efforts, right? Where you're having to trade time for money, where you're having to have active income. Well, there's a way, and it's called private pension banking. And tonight, I want you to really think about that, because it's really about your budget. How do you design a budget that's going to help you to get in front of that? And most people don't know how to budget, right? Most people don't even know what they make. They don't know how much money they. I know it's sad for some, but there's a lot of people that really don't know how much money they bring home or understand, what they have after all the expenses. So my homework assignment for you, and the action that I want you to take, is to find out, especially if you have debt, how much debt do you have per month? At least get there. How much is my total debt per month? How much interest am I paying on each one of these debtors, these debts, I should say? All right. How much interest am I paying into each one of these debtors? And then find out how much money are you bringing in total, right? So your total assets or income minus your total liability, all right, or expenses. All right, that's how much money you should have left over. And I know you have some variable costs in there, like food and gas and entertainment, but that's where budgeting comes in, where you have to establish some type of budget. Okay. Now, once you've established some type of budget, I know you probably don't know how to do that. There's some percentages that I can cover with you. I would say for your savings, you definitely want to get to a point to where you can try to start saving at least 20% of what you bring home, as much as possible. And with that savings, you can probably end up getting into some type of private pension banking system. If you want to save more, that's great. Ideally, people want to live off 50% of what they bring home. The average person is living above their means, so they'll never get there. But if you can start downsizing and maybe doing some smart decisions around how you can live well, but also have a nice pension plan already started, because it's the time that your money is put away that's going to make you the most money. Okay, so if you're in your 20s, you don't have to put a whole lot of money out. If you're in your 30s, I put a little bit more. 40s, you see what I'm going? So the older you are, the more money you're going to have to pay. So you need to get with a financial professional to figure out, based on what I can put away, where will this put me in the future for income? That's the question you want to ask. How will I be able to compete with inflation as it relates to putting away certain types of money? So I want you to find that out, and definitely, take charge and really begin to take action. I want you to go and download my free retirement planning guide if you haven't already, because if you don't have a plan, you're going to plan to fail. All right. I know it's super late tonight, and so I don't expect anyone to be on, but I did have, to take a nap today. Any of you ever had to take a nap? And then you wake up late at night and say, "Oh, let me just do something," and you start to work or do whatever you do. That's what this is all about, because I didn't get to get on earlier. But definitely want you to know that we are here to support you in any way that we possibly can. You are invited to come out and fellowship with us if you're in the Charleston area. We are going to be live at the Shatika House of Financial Solutions Charleston location, North Charleston location. You can join us there between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Had to fix that. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll be there. So definitely want to meet you, see how we can serve you in the community. What are your questions about, what it is that we do? We're going to tell you a little bit about what we do, and we're going to let you go. And you can fellowship, bring your business cards, meet some others that's going to be there. We're going to have a great collaboration and time together to be able to discuss, where Shatika House Financial Solutions is planning to go as it relates to Charleston and what we're doing here. And that's primarily what that's going to be all about. August the 14th, that Monday, is actually Financial Awareness Day. So that's the whole intention around what we're doing. We're going to tell you about some different things that we have coming out, we're excited about. And we'll share all that at that particular time. So if you don't know, go to shatika.com. You can go ahead and register there. We will send you out an email with that location address. But the first time that we meet, we don't want to put it out there until we have already did this soft opening, if you will, because we want to make sure that we get a good head count. And then once that's there, we're good to go. We're like letting people know our location there. It's not like it's a private location, but we just don't want to have a head count bigger, because I've done events here and other places, and people show up and we don't even know that they're coming. So if you don't know the address, you certainly can just hop up. So either way, we're glad to be able to serve you here. We're going to come with some real good information, some graphics and those types of things in the near future here on the YouTube channel. So you can kind of see some things. I really need you to understand the differences between the different products. So I want you to be able to have a visual in front of you. And I do have those in presentation mode, but I'm not going to use it 100% because I want you to sign up for our webinar so we can stay in touch with you and we can feed you some really good resources. In fact, if you're on our mailer list, one of the ways to get on that is to get your retirement planning guide. And you're going to start receiving some invites to some webinars and things of that nature, master classes. We got some really good stuff brewing up for you that you really do not want to miss. So if you have any questions, you can certainly email us at staff@winningandwealth.org, or you can, DM us on social media at LinkedIn, on House of Financial Solutions on LinkedIn. You can also, connect with us on the Thread app. I'm on there and I'm saying all kind of things over there. So you listen, the personality of Shatika is on Thread. If you want my personality, it's on Thread. You got to follow me on Thread. Okay. All right. God bless you. I will talk to you later.